have to release, you know what I'm saying? Shit. We gotta release, baby. I don't know what to tell you. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, girl, what's good? Go ahead and grab a seat, and while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe and join the family, because I promise you're gonna love it here. No, but seriously, my name is Taiwo. I am Nigerian. I make faith-based content here on YouTube. I make vlogs, I make cooking tutorials, I make renovation videos. We do life advice on this channel. I mean, we are really a community, and I'm so excited to have you as a part of that. So go ahead and subscribe and join the family. And for those of you guys returning, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you guys back. Go ahead and grab a seat, and let's jump right into the topic today. As you can see, the video is titled 5 Tips on How to Have a Successful, Solid Marriage. Now, before I dive in, I want to put a disclaimer out there. I am not a relationship expert, and I'm recently married. Me and my husband got married April of 2020, so we're newlyweds. But we have been together. It's going to be 7 years next week, so thank you, God, for that. He and I have been through so much together, and in our marriage, God has really revealed so much to us. I mean, we have just been downloaded on how to stay married, be happy in our marriage, and be the best of friends. And during my walk today, the Holy Spirit, downloaded in me all the things to share with you guys today. You know how sometimes we do our own thing and we don't think to share, but this has been working for us, and I just want to share that with you. Now, I know it's just 5 that I'll be sharing today, but it's not just 5 tips that it takes to have a successful marriage. These are just the 5 important ones to me and my husband, and what we currently practice right now. So let's just jump right into the topic today. So my husband and I both come from 2 divorced families, right? So we never got the right examples on how to be married, how to be successfully married. One of the biggest things for us going into marriage was not to adopt the things from our parents, but to really create our own lane and create our own avenue to be successful. So in doing that, we always pull on the Holy Spirit. We always call on God. God is a huge part of our relationship, and He really has helped us through our whole entire union. So I'm going to share the 5 tips right now. Tip number 1, learning how to talk to your spouse and checking in often. That is one of the biggest things for us, is making sure that we check in with each other, because it's very important, and sometimes it's often overlooked just with life in general and how busy we both can be with our jobs and just with life. It's easy to just not remember to ask your spouse how they are. So when you allow a space where you can ask your spouse how they are, and give them the permission to really take inventory on themselves and check in with themselves to see how they are, so they can share that with you, I think this is very effective in a marriage, in a relationship, just in general, because it really allows that person to be one with you and one with themselves. For example, my husband and I, we ask each other how we are almost every single day, because things change. There are different things that happen in our days at work that might not seem like a big deal, but really has a huge impact in how our day turns out. So when after work, we always ask each other, how are you? How was work today? What happened at work today? How is your mental health? When we're asked that really allows us to do that self-work, to take inventory into ourselves and be able to really articulate how we're feeling. Especially for men. Men go through so much mentally that they don't really share, and a lot of men don't even feel comfortable talking about their feelings, talking about their emotions. So when you are creating a space for your husband to be vulnerable with you, and just creating a space where you're not asking him to do anything, you're not telling him about anything, you're just asking about how he is and just hearing him out, I think that really creates a beautiful atmosphere for just vulnerability, and for your husband to really take inventory in how he's feeling, to be able to articulate it to you. And this goes to the husbands as well. A lot of times, your wives might not feel comfortable talking about certain things because they might feel like they don't want to nag, they don't want to talk about the same things over and over again, but really creating a space for her to talk to you and be vulnerable with you, and maybe repeat the same thing that she talked about maybe last week that you don't want to hear about again. it might just be something that's big for her. So creating a space for her to be able to share that again and maybe hear the same advice that you gave her last week again, it really will help strengthen your relationship. So I believe asking each other how you are daily and just doing that check-in with each other is so important, because it allows a space to be vulnerable and allows a space to really do some self-work. Number 2, prioritizing time alone and prioritizing time together. So prioritizing time alone, I think, is really important in a marriage. Now, of course, you're married, but it's okay to be alone sometimes. Like, for example, my husband and I prioritize an hour alone every single day. Like, after work, we will go and do our own thing for an hour, whether he's playing the game or whether I'm in here in my room watching TV, just decompressing from the work day, just kind of assessing what happened, downloading, what happened throughout my day. That way, when we do get together and talk, I'm able to really articulate myself effectively, and so is he. Because, there's some things that happen in our day that maybe we might not want to talk about right away, but we really want to just kind of download it first before we talk about it. And plus, there are things that happen in our day sometimes that might be negative, and doing this self-work alone every single day, it really allows you to drain out that energy before you talk to your spouse, so you're not exerting anything on him from your day, or you're not exerting anything on her from your day. So I think spending time alone, at least an hour a day by yourself, you're able to kind of drain out everything that's going on in your life as far as like what happened that day, or just drain out, just assess what happened that day and just take inventory on your thoughts and your mind and everything. That way you're not taking anything negative from your day and just throwing it up in your spouse, because that's not fair. And the next part of that is spending time together. It is so vital that as a couple that you spend time together. I mean, that is your fuel in a sense. Your presence with your spouse is a fuel. It's a connection that just needs to be, that needs to be fueled. So I think spending time together is so important. Having that time carved out for you guys, I think that is it's just an intimate moment that can't really be explained. I mean, if you know, when you're with your person, that fuel, that energy, that gasoline that you kind of get from them, it's so important in a marriage. It's so important in a relationship. And I think that's something that really helps fuel a successful, solid marriage. Number 3, prioritizing date night. Now, this is so important and oftentimes overlooked. Listen, when people get married, sometimes they stop doing things that they used to do before they got married or before they got engaged. And really and truly, that's where the problems start to come in, because either the wife is not feeling appreciated or the husband isn't feeling appreciated because the wife stopped doing what she used to do before she got the ring, and the husband stopped doing what he used to do before he put the ring on it. So prioritizing date night, I think, is a really huge way to stay reconnected. One of the biggest things in our household is date night. We don't play about that. That is our chance to kind of recharge with each other, just kind of see each other again. I mean, we see each other all the time, but date night is really like, we romanticize the hell out of our date nights too. I mean, we go out, we take it there. Like, we seriously go above and beyond for date nights, because it's my way of knowing that he's still pursuing me, and it's his way of knowing that I appreciate him and I'm pursuing him as well. And just because the ring is on, it don't mean the flowers stop. It doesn't mean the gifts stop. It doesn't mean all the things that he did before we got married stops. And that goes for me too. Before we got married, I cooked a lot for him. So now that I'm married, the cooking doesn't stop. It doesn't slow down. It actually, I have to build that momentum up. I have to keep that momentum going, because that is one of the biggest things about me that he loved. So I'm not gonna stop doing that because now we're married. That doesn't happen. He still buys me flowers, and that's one of the biggest things in our marriage, in our relationship, that I loved, is whenever I got flowers. So that doesn't stop because now we're married, but instead, the momentum, it just keeps going, right? Still pursuing your spouse, showing them that you still want them, that you only have eyes for them, that no matter what, you are making whatever moment, no matter how small it is, whether it's just building a tent in the living room, romanticize the hell out of that and make them feel as special as they are. Number 4, have sex often, okay? Now, I don't need y'all shying away from this topic because sex is a huge part in a marriage, and it's another way to fuel your marriage too. It's not the only way, but it's another way to fuel your marriage. It's another way to stay connected. It's having sex, having plenty of sex. A lot of people are scared to talk about sex, and I don't know why, but sex is a huge part in a marriage, and it needs to be constantly fed. Certain couples have different types of appetites, so whatever appetite you have in your relationship that works for you guys, keep that up, but make sure that you're having sex often, because a lot of times when we're frustrated and we're like nagging in the house, or our husbands are upset or whatever, we gotta think about, like, did we have sex this week? Like, you know what I mean? Because sometimes those frustrations could be sexual tension. It could be sexual frustration, and you have to prioritize sex. I mean, I don't know how many times you guys want to have sex. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how many times to have sex in your marriage, but making sure that you have sex often is so important, because it's a way to stay connected. I mean, he needs me and I need him. That's just something that we need from each other, and we need to release. That's a huge part, as human beings. We have to release, you know what I'm saying? Shit. We gotta release, baby. I don't know what to tell you. He gotta release. I have to release. I mean, it's a part of our, our relationship. It's a part of a marriage. That's why we're married. So having sexual frustration in a marriage just doesn't make sense, because you have a sex partner for life. So pleasing each other should be something that is prioritized. Number 5, and this is one of the most important points, and I saved it for last for a reason. Number 5 is forgiving quickly, okay? This is so important. My husband and I always say this, and it's also in the Bible. Never let the sun set on your anger, which means do not go to bed angry. Always make sure that, yes, disagreements are going to come in a marriage. That's just normal, okay? You guys are not going to see eye to eye all the time, but it's very important to make sure that you are realizing that it's you both against the problem and not you both against each other. So when you come into an argument or a disagreement, if you gotta take 5 minutes away from each other for a little bit, don't leave the house. I always say never leave the house when you're angry, because God forbid, you never know what could happen. It's okay to take some time to kind of just cool off, maybe go on opposite sides of the house for a few minutes, just kind of decompress and pray alone and ask God to talk to your spouse, or go to God about the situation and let God, because at the end of the day, your heart is in God's hands, the both of you. So you have to seek God to really resolve anything. So if you have an issue with your spouse, go tell God, your son over here, he did this to me, and I'm upset, blah blah blah. If I'm wrong about this, please put it in my heart to go and apologize if I am in the wrong about this. And if your husband says the same prayer, whoever is wrong is going to come to the other person, right? And even if you guys are both wrong, you guys are going to make your way back to each other, because you've already went to a higher, you've gone to God about it, and he has put peace in your heart, and he's put forgiveness in your heart, and now you guys are able to come together. It's so important to forgive each other quickly, because you don't want to leave any room for the enemy to comfort your spouse. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, Eve eating the apple from the tree. Girl, that's a whole nother topic, child. But she and Adam weren't in any argument. However, she was left alone for a long period of time to where she could be coerced by the devil, which is my point. Don't let too much time to be in between you and your partner during an argument to where you guys are not talking for hours. No. If you have to take a 5 to 10 minute chill pill, take a 5 to 10 minute chill pill and come right back to each other and resolve that, because you don't want too much time to pass, okay? You don't want the devil to feel like he can come in and put things in your husband's head about you, or put things in your wife's head about you, and then now it's a whole nother issue. The argument then gone from one small petty argument, now it then lasted for a whole week. Girl, No, that's not what we doing. No. You have an argument, take a chill pill, but come right back to each other and kiss and make up. That's it. Okay? Always remember, it's you both against the problem and not you guys against each other. Okay? I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I have enjoyed making this video for you guys. Look out for a part 2 because like I said in the beginning, it's not just 5 tips on how to have a successful relationship / marriage. There's definitely more tips in the books, but these are just the 5 that my husband and I practice, and I hope it helps you. If you know anyone that's newly married or has been married for a while or is going into a marriage that these tips will help, please feel free to share. And like I said, I look forward to making more videos for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and join the family, and I will see you guys in my next video. Love you guys so much. Bye. Mwah.